Good morning. How are we?
Good. They're not having it. No one's having it that you play off scratch.
Well, Dean, you can't please everyone. That's just life. It's a bit like you as a manager. You try and, you say you're good and sometimes you're not. It's just how it is.
I know. I should have got rid of the tools I had. You were one of them.
By the way, you were throwing Jim White under the bus.
Where did that come from, that question?
I went to watch. When I played at West Ham, there was 25,000 there. What's the attendance? What's the matter with you?
Well,
he don't know what the attendance is.
He was there. So how many's there, roughly? I'm not exactly for the exact attendance.
65,000. I was in Brighton yesterday, Dean. That don't mean I know what the attendance was.
What was the temperature at the game yesterday? Someone's just messaged in and said, "What is this talk attendance?"
Yeah, well, I mean, where have they gained 30,000 fans from? West Ham.
Listen, let's talk about Spurs, shall we, Jamie?
Go on.
Again.
Come
what
on.
do you want to talk about?
A good win for you.
We played well, actually. I thought it was a better performance, better result. It's still obviously painting over cracks, I think, with some of the players and, how far away we are from certain teams like Manchester United and even Liverpool, have come back into it. I just want to get to the end of the season, really. Just get to the end of the season and then figure out what the plan is. What are we doing going forward? Who's the manager going to be? Who's coming in? What's the process? And where are we going? Because, look, I like Ryan Mason. I think he's a really nice bloke. I think the players respect him. I think he knows what he's talking about. And I think the players want to work for him. But we need a manager. We can't just continue like this. So, for me, we're just ticking boxes and getting through to the end of the season. And it's just been another write-off. Let's be honest. It's been a write-off of a season again. And, I'm sick to death of it. Yeah, we won at the weekend, but it's still the same old Spurs.
Shall I save you talking about Spurs and talk about top four instead? Because it looks like Spurs aren't going to make it, but Liverpool couldn't they? If you were to say now, considering yesterday's results, Newcastle lost, Manchester United lost, do you think Liverpool can actually do it?
Well, yeah, of course they can. Yeah, because they've been in great form. I mean, they're absolutely flying again. Klopp's got them back playing. The system's working. Trent's playing well, coming into midfield. All of a sudden, the players look like they know what they're doing. Man United, I thought, were really poor against West Ham yesterday. I thought they were rubbish, and it looks like they've lost a little bit of belief. Martial, I mean, Dean Saunders can have his take on him. Martial, for me, as a centre forward, is an absolute disgrace. He needs to leave Manchester United. He's a joke. He looks like he hates football. He offers the team absolutely nothing. He doesn't even run around. And I look at Man United and think, you know what? You could be a massive problem for them come the end of the season because really and truthfully, Man United were looking like this is going to be a huge success. Win the Carabao Cup, got the FA Cup final and finish in the top four. That could all unravel in the next month. And who's going to be to blame for it? Because someone's got to take the blame. And it ain't Ten Hag, because Ten Hag's a top coach. The players on the pitch yesterday were miles off it. Miles off. It looked like they were just coasting through. If they get picked to top four by Liverpool, that's a disaster. Because Liverpool have been an absolute disgrace this season and they're going to get in the top four. So Man United, they need to sort themselves out.
Jamie, Martial, right? When I'm managing, agents ringing you non-stop with, I've got a striker for you. This is how the questioning goes. Right, does he score? If they say yes, I carry on with the conversation. What's my next question? Does he work hard? Because I know he's going to go through a bad patch, but I can leave him in the team and he does other things for the team. If he says no to that question, does he work hard? Martial covers all boxes. He doesn't score and he doesn't work hard. So I put the phone down. Get rid.
Yeah, no. I can't believe how bad he is. And, I just look at some of the players, that some of them are miles off it. Anthony, again, yesterday, we went missing in the second half. And I know Gabby gives him loads of stick. And I think sometimes I try and back him, be on his side, because, what does Gabby know? And I'm not convinced. Every time he plays, it just looks like he doesn't have enough quality about him. It's just come inside, wants to bend it in the top corner. But you've got to have something different to your game. And,
Weghorst is not as good as Martial talent-wise, but he works harder than him. So he sticks him in because he knows what he's going to get out of him. But he's obviously not good enough. But at least when you go to bed on Friday night, when you pick him, he's going to try.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. And I don't think there's enough players in that Man United team that'll die for the team. West Ham players yesterday, they needed that result. They were ready to die for the team. Man United players weren't. You could see it. Simple as that.
Antonio bullied him.
Yeah.
Antonio played well.
Jay, I want to ask you more about the bottom of the table as well, because the game tonight is massive. Nottingham Forest against Southampton. talkSPORT exclusive. Yeah. Who wins that one? We'll be taking
calls after that one, would you?
Yes, you will, won't you, on Sports Bar? Who's alongside you tonight? Is Jason back?
Cundy's back. Mm-hmm. Yeah, me and Cundy.
What do you think then?
To be fair, I much prefer it when Dean's in. It's a great show with Dino. Cundy's useless, and he just
thanks, Jamie. I mean, you got a tough deal at Wolves.
That's not what you said to me. Forest against Southampton. There's a part of me, Jamie, that looks at Southampton and still thinks, obviously they got something out of the game against Arsenal, and still thinks that if they manage to get a win tonight against Nottingham Forest, there's a shred of hope that they might still manage to stay up. What do you reckon?
No, I don't think they.
No,
I don't think they can stay up. I don't. I just think there's going to be. The teams down there on, I think, 30 points, I think will pick up wins. And I just think Southampton are too far adrift. Look, you can't lose hope and you can't lose belief. That is a massive win tonight if they get one. I just think quality-wise, when I've watched Southampton, I just don't think they've been good enough to stay in the Premier League. And, I think they need to have a reset. They're going to go down. And I think they need to have a look at the process of how they do business. Because, when you're constantly selling your best players, constantly getting rid of all the star signings that you bring in. If you actually look at Southampton's team over the last maybe 6-7 seasons, it's unbelievable, the players that they've had. And they just let them go and they sell them on and then they bring in other players. It's found out. They've been found out. It's caught up with them. You've sold too many good players and you ain't brought enough quality in and they're going to go down for it.
Well, no, you're spot on. And what they've gone to the policy of let's bring a load of young players in and develop them. You can't do that in the Premier League. You can't do it.
Well,
this is the best league in the world.
With it, and it's Brighton. Because Brighton recruitment is unbelievable and they keep finding gems. And, we keep saying, Brighton, the first ones that have been doing it. Well, no, actually, Southampton were the ones who started it. Southampton's recruitment has been unbelievable. But what they haven't done in the last couple of seasons is when they've sold their best players, like Brighton have done, have had a plan to bring in another player. If you watch Brighton when they sell players, they've already got someone lined up to come in and replace that person. Even with the manager in Graham Potter goes, they already know, right, he's going to be going, he's doing well, he's going to move on, we're going to get 25 million quid for our manager, and we're going to have someone come in and do a better job. And that's how Brighton, that is how you run a business. That is how you run a football club. They're the best run football club in the country by a mile, Brighton. And look, Southampton were that club for a little bit of a period, bringing in top players. And then they haven't. They haven't seen the future. They haven't looked at it, and they think they're just clinging on. And you can't do that in the Premier League. If you don't keep bringing in quality players, you go. It's as simple as that. You look at the teams that are down there this season, and the teams that have spent the less money and ain't got enough quality players.
Brighton as well have got 6 games still to play in the Premier League. So there's teams around them that have only got 3 games left to play. So you might see Brighton, if they manage to win those games and do a good job of it, you might see them push even further up the table potentially. We're not ruling them out. Jamie, just before you go, had a message here from Jack in Newcastle. Jamie calls himself a scratch golfer, but Jimmy Bullard schooled him on Tubes' YouTube channel.
Don't tell me
he said, good game though. Great to watch.
I did not get schooled. Let me tell you that. I mean, Jimmy Bullard is a top golfer, by the way, a very good golfer. And we had a right good crack, it was good fun. And I realised that I need to work on my game, I need to work on my game and go back to the drawing board, get up the driving range and we go again.
You went twitching with your partner.
You have bad times and you realise you're not good enough and you go back to the drawing board.
Yeah. Like Spurs as well, I suppose.
I never signed Jamie, by the way. People seem to think I signed him.
Did you inherit him?
I inherited him, yeah.
Oh, nightmare.
Try to get
Dino loved me. Dino loved me.
Jamie, enjoy the show tonight. Lovely to speak to you, mate.
Yeah, cheers later. Take
See
care.
You later. Jamie O'Hara is back on Sports Bar tonight, taking your calls at 10 p.m. If you want to get those in, 03717 223344. Him and Jason Cundy waiting by the phone, hanging on your every word this evening at 10 o'clock after that 8 p.m. kickoff. Nottingham Forest against Southampton. Massive, massive game at the bottom of the table.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods. Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.